We want this.
Don't know your scripture. You're so full of shit. I'm named after Jacob, founder of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob was born the younger brother to Esau. Being the firstborn was entitled to the birthright and all the blessings that came along with it. You know why I've never met anyone named Esau? Because Jacob stole that birthright. He aspired to deceive his blind father, and he took what was his because he was not called upon to simply make God's will be done. He was called upon to seize his destiny. That church is my destiny. I'm here for my birthright. Just tell him. I'm not going to do that.
We want this.
Don't know your scripture. You're so full of shit. I'm named after Jacob, founder of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob was born the younger brother to Esau. Being the firstborn was entitled to the birthright and all the blessings that came along with it. You know why I've never met anyone named Esau? Because Jacob stole that birthright. He aspired to deceive his blind father, and he took what was his because he was not called upon to simply let God's will be done. He was called upon to seize his destiny. That church is my destiny. I'm here for my birthright. Just tell him. You're not going to do that.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters is out there. Unto the like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. This is I told you so. And that I told you so is on behalf of every Hebrew Israelite out there that been going out in the highways and the byways. Mainly starting from the apostles. All right. You know, and their elders before them. And the legacy that we have carried throughout all these years. And, you know, shout out to the elder bro, Rapar, because he had put this in the chat. I didn't get to check it out, but now I see it. And it's right in your face. It's right in your face. The truth is in plain sight. The truth is right in your face. This is not a conspiracy. We didn't conspire to make this up. Or we go out in the highways and byways. We didn't, you know, the apostles didn't get us in a room and tell us, like, this is what you guys gonna have to talk about. You know, this is exactly what we've been saying throughout the whole time. All right, and that what we've been saying to the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is true. That this whole thing, all right, this whole world turning upside down, and this man conspires, has a hatred towards you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. It wasn't by accident. It's exactly what this man just said. It was about the damn birthright. And why would they put this in film? Why would they put this out there in public? Because there's no lie behind it. All right. The art says it all. The art literally says it all. And this is art form. All right. When somebody's acting, it's an art form. So they expressing. So that means that there was a director who got the script from the writer, who got greenlit by the movie studios. All right, they greenlit this shit. They whatever this movie was, they seen that scene. The writer wrote it. The director said, "This is how it's gonna be said. This is how you guys gonna do it. This, that, to the third." So if anything that was misunderstood, it would have been cut off from the film, and it would even be part of the script. But why is it being part of the script? Because there's truth behind it. All right, they finally telling it that there's truth behind everything. For these devils to actually tell us straight up, you stole our birthright. That's why you stole our birthright. Straight up, that shows you who they are. He's not making it up. That's exactly what we've been saying throughout all these years. All right, this whole thing, the way the world it is right now, is all because of a birthright. It's all because they missed out. Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai was not dealing with them at all, and that's the part they're not gonna. That's the part they're not going to express. All right, and it's a beautiful thing. The Wadi Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. See, we're in the right part of history. That's what that proves right there. Continuously, we're in the right part of history. The things we've been saying through the Spirit of the Lord is not of our own. It's never. It's we never. For them to just sit there and just literally just say that shit, that is hilarious. Genesis 20, 25. Let's go into it. The basics is powerful. It says 25:7. Genesis 25:7. And these are the days. I'm sorry. That's true. I gotta go up. Genesis 25:20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethlehem, the Syrian of Pandararam, the sister of Laban, the Syrian. And I remember almost every week, we was out there. We would always bring this out, always, consistently, like just chopping it in, because it was our turn. We just chopping it in. Like it's like taking down. Like if you ever did construction, it's like doing demolition in something, and you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, and as you keep going, you're starting to see results, right? And no matter how many weeks you said it, it never changed. It can never change. It had to be said. All right, and we always bring it out. Yeah, Jacob was born to get the birthright. The Lord played it out, and according to these devils, he stole it. Okay, tomato. But it shows you that these scriptures are powerful indeed. It says Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. For a woman, any woman back then, to be barren, meaning that she couldn't have a child, that was a shameful thing. So when Isaac asked the Lord to give him a child, the Lord granted it. Okay? And it says, and the Lord was entreated of him, Rebekah, his wife, conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. Did she go to the inquire of the Lord on her own? Nope. She went with her husband, which was Isaac. All right. And who did inquire of the Lord from? A prophet. These are the things that it's not going to say, but everything has always been the same. Just like there was a prophet in the time of Adam, in the cool of the day. Well, guess what? There was a prophet back then, and this is what the prophet told Isaac. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separate from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. All right. So whoever came out first was instantly going to serve his younger brother in the near future. That's what straight up. So that it was already ordained. There was no theft involved. There was no supplanting at the time. It was already ordained from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the creator of all things, that the elder was going to serve the younger. So if the Lord said it, who can who can say anything about it? Matter of fact, let me get that. I love this scripture. Sirach 18. I said I won. I'm gonna go back to that. That's why I have it there. He that liveth forever hath created all things in general. The Lord alone is righteous, and there is none other but he, who governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. For he is the King of all, and by his power dividing holy things among them from profane. To whom have he given power to declare his works? And who shall find out his noble acts? Who shall number the strength of his majesty? Who shall also tell out his mercies? As for the wondrous works of the Lord, there are many. There may nothing be taken from them, neither may anything be put onto them. Neither can neither can the ground of them be found out. When a man have done, then he beginneth, and when he leaveth off, then shall be doubtful. So the Lord is in control of everything. All right, He controlled everything from the jump. So I gotta express that. Matter of fact, let me get to this. I'm gonna jump in, but hey, it's what it's Sirach 33 and 14. Sirach 33 and 11. And much not all men are from the ground, and Adam was created of earth. And much knowledge the Lord hath divided them, and made their ways diverse. Some he have blessed and exalted, some of them he sanctified and set near himself. So automatically the Lord said these two babies are going to be fathers of nations, of their nations. And he already made the difference. One is going to be stronger and the other is going to be weak. All right. One is going to be close to him and the other. So in other words, the Lord already ordained it from the jump. Why? Because this is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's story. It says, some have it, I read that already, but I'm going to read it again. Some of them he have blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand, to fashion it at his pleasure, so is man is in the hand of him that made him, to render them as liking him best. I must hold that right there. So this is the Lord he governs everything, and he likens everybody or anything at best. In other words, this is what you're gonna do. All right. The, the creation have nothing to do, can change the outcome of anything. All the creation can do is do what the creator made them to do. So keep that in mind. Verse 24, back in Genesis 25 and 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled. Behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. So first came out red. The firstborn, the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. The elder shall serve the younger. So you already know he was doomed from the moment that he came out the womb, because it was already ordained by the Lord. Like, yeah, whoever comes out first, that one is gonna be a servant to the younger. He's gonna be weaker than the younger, because the Lord can do that. All right. And after that came his brother out, and even his appearance was weak, because no other person looked like this. The only time the other people looked like this was in the time of Cain. All right. But who knows if all Cain's descendants look like that? But we know Cain looked like that. All right. So this man was born with no melanin. He was born with no melanin. He was born without the I should have done a show on that one, but I'm not gonna do that. He wasn't born with the natural shield the that every other ordinary person had, and we all are descendants of Adam. So something was completely off about Esau, and Esau is an omen nomen, which means wasted away is he. So he came out wasted. Ishar in the Hebrew, okay, like he came out different. Yet his father loved him the same. All right, and at times he was his father's favorite, but it didn't matter if that was his father's favorite or not. It was what the Lord wanted. Okay, and it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, which means supplanter. All right, that's all it means. Jacob means supplanter. It doesn't mean what they said. The one wrestled God. Nah, it means supplanter, because the act that he did, and that's why you so-called Caucasians, you white people, all right, you people that are butthurt, jealous, envious towards Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, because how we're closer to the Lord no matter what, because we're the Lord's chosen people, that we're going to be rewarded in mortality. All these things matter. It doesn't matter what you think, how you feel. The Lord is not dealing with you. All right. He told you he had it ordained from the jump. It said, and Isaac was 80 years old when she bared him. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. So in order to be a hunter, you got to be cunning. This is why he studies everything. He knows things, all right? Because you think they're not playing dumb. They know exactly what they're thinking of, and they know the history. They know their history. See, you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you rather be called those names that they tell you, all right? The names that they put upon you. This man studies you. Your enemy studies you. And obviously, just that episode alone, that video alone shows you they hate you with a deep hatred. And this is one of the reasons why they hate Israel. Okay? And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison. But Rebecca loved Jacob. This is the only time when a black woman, other guy always says that. This is the only time when a black woman actually shows some sort of love towards Jake. All right. But that was the dynamics of how the Lord wanted things to play out. And here it is. These are the same devils that would do all the most horrific things, but they will be upset and say, "Oh, this guy stole this." All right. If you claim that we stole your birthright, we ain't right. Why don't you put Esau in your name, right? Why you want to be Jacob so bad? I'm just saying. How can Jacob be mad about Jacob taking Esau's blessing? Makes no sense, right? And Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. Why? Because he liked uncooked food. And we all know this man loves raw meat, steak tartare. Okay? He like a little blood in his meat. Not a little, he would like a lot of blood. He would eat it raw. They're just completely adverse to everything that how we stand. These are two men that came from the same man who are completely in different paths. And it says, and Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." And Esau said, Behold, I am at the point to die. What profit shall this birthright do to me? So don't get mad at us. Get mad at him. He didn't have the integrity, the gall. All right? He didn't care about his birthright. He's like, yo, what this birthright is gonna do for me? He didn't give two shits about the birthright that was promised. So why y'all getting mad? Why y'all upset? Y'all want to put this in films and so forth? Why you upset? Don't get mad at us. Get mad at your forefather. Right? And Jacob said, Swear me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So there was an exchange. Yeah, the value didn't make sense. But at the same time, if he had any integrity, he would not even think about selling any birthright. Right? He would have known that was his father was promised a great promise. All right? That his father's father was blessed, which made his father blessed. He would have known that. He would have taken it serious. But no. He decided for some food to give up his birthright. So now he's no longer the elder that received the birthright. All right? He was the elder because he came out first, and that's why the Lord said the one that came out first shall serve the younger. All right? So now, after that event, Jacob became the elder. And it says, Then Jacob gave Esau bread in the pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So he didn't care about anything. He didn't have the integrity to make a difference. All right? He didn't care about the birthright. All he cared was for the moment. Just like to this day, y'all all carry the same trait as your forefather. You don't think of longevity. You think of the moment. All right? You enjoy the moment, which goes into real quick. I'm still gonna come back to the other thing. Wisdom of Solomon 2, 3. No. Wisdom of Solomon, and this goes into the ungodly. So Solomon thinking how the ungodly is thinking. He's thinking how the Edomites are thinking, right? I'm gonna start at 4, and now no 3, which begin is oh man, I gotta start at 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not all right. Our life is short and tedious, and in death of a man there's no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. So they believe in what? They don't believe in reincarnation. They don't believe in sin. They don't. They care less. They just live for the moment. This is what they. This is how they think. All right. Do as I will. Don't they carry that philosophy? For we are born at all adventure. We shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke, and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ash, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. So they don't believe in afterlife per se. Now the elites, they understand how things go. They know that they come back. All right. But the majority of you Edomites out there, y'all don't believe in shit. Tell me I'm lying. All right. Oh, what was I talking? I was talking to a brother about the Penguin. Now, when you watch the movie, not the movie, sorry, the TV show, The Penguin. Spoiler alert. Nah, spoiler, not spoiler. But the character is irredeemable. All right, because we grew of late how they film super villains and superheroes. They're they're what's the word? They're like a tweener. You feel sorry for the character. You feel a certain way because of the background, their upbringing, and it says and people say, "Oh, this is why they turn like this." Right? That moment, even to this day. Hold on, what this guy was talking about. Even to that moment, all right. I just read exactly what they did, the act that they did, and his dumbass still angry about them not getting that birthright. All right, which that birthright is equal to the blessing, which I'm about to read. So they don't think on anything, period. They're reactionary people, right? Tell me I'm lying. They all, and the most emotional individuals on the earth is the Edomites. See, Jake, they're emotionally in check. So when they feel a certain way at the moment, yeah, they might take a life here and there. But these people, when they upset, they are destroying countless lives with one push of the button, poisoning everything, poisoning themselves, poisoning the air, everything that they stand for. And they think this way. It says back in Wisdom of Solomon 2:5. So, for our time is a very shadow that passeth away, and our after our end, there's no returning, for it is fast sealed, so that no man cometh again. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use a creature like as in youth. Let us fill ourselves with the costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass by us. And this is how they live. This is how they think. That's why Esau was so quick to give up his birthright. So don't get mad at us. All right? Get mad at your forefathers for not having no fucking integrity, period. Now I'm just going to go straight to the point. Genesis 27 and 38. And it says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Why did he weep? Because the blessing went to Jacob. And Isaac thought Isaac thought Jacob was Esau. Okay? Yes, the Lord had to blind him. The Lord blinded him because Isaac looked at things in an outward appearance. He looked at things outwardly. But it was a spirit that guided the Lord to do that. All right? To Isaac. Isaac had to be blind to give the right order. Remember, it's not our will, it's the Lord's will. He governed this whole thing. He put this perfect plan together. So if you're going to get mad at Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay? Get mad at the Lord for doing that. And we're just happy that we got it, that the Lord thought of us. All right? And Esau said, oh, I read that already. Verse 39, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness. I'm sorry, I read that. Is it? And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, meaning they're going to live in the best parts of the earth, okay? And the dew of heaven from above. That's why they have the ability to do what? Have airplanes, helicopters, space stations, control of what goes on out in space. All right? They have all these things because that was part of their blessing. This is the consolation. What Esau has right now is considered the consolation prize. All right? This is the consolation prize. Second best, which is really nothing. And this is the ultimate downfall for him. And by thy sword shall thy live. I don't hear them complaining about this blessing, nor living in the burbs, nor having space stations and helicopters and so forth. All right. You don't hear them complaining about that part of the blessing, but they want to complain about the birthright. You see? So this is what you consider selective anger on the part of Esau. That ain't right. Jacob should never take that. But we're going to take Jacob's name. And we're going to pretend to be Jacob. That ain't right. Jacob should have did that. But we're going to enjoy the blessing that the Lord allowed us to have. You see that? That's the hypocrite. That's the hypocrite of Esau. You complain about something that now if the Lord didn't give you a fucking blessing, then you have a little bit of gripe, but the Lord gave you a blessing. And you living up that blessing to the fullest. All right? You're living it up. Like you have that whole time MAGA cult movement. And what is MAGA all about? It's all about being great again. All right? Colonizing, destroying, having people fear you again. All right? That's what it's all about. Full control of everything in the world. Wherever you devils go, people fear and tremble. That's what y'all want. Y'all ain't worried about no goddamn blessing. Because there's a damn thing for you. You are in your blessing. So this motherfucker, they have the world the way they want. They have the world, and they turn on their own world so they could usher in a new world with them being on top. Oh, and to reach that immortality, they want to merge technology with, which is witchcraft for them with human beings. But then you want to complain about how Jacob originally took your blessing. Who's the bitch now? It says, and by thy sword shall thou live, and thou shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So there's going to be a period of time which that happened in the time of Solomon, and it had happened during the time of in Europe, where you was under us, and y'all broke off. All right. So the Lord allowed you to be built up, and now we in that little season that you are established, right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, to this day, the days of mourning for my father is at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. So that was etched in his mind forever. Why? What proves it? Scripture proves it. I'm gonna just get this one real quick. Amos 1 and 11. It says, thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. What this perpetually means? Forever. All right? Something so long ago, he's still bitching and complaining about it, even though he has a blessing, even though he's on top. All right? And he's upset that the Lord, and he don't even believe in the Lord. All right? He does everything adverse. And that him, when the Lord took the gave the blessing and the birthright to Jacob, that had nothing to do, all right, with the character built. Somebody might sit there and read it and look at it like, yeah, I see why Esau acted a certain way. I see why Esau did that. Well, if you see that, then you're an Edomite, because for Jacob, and why? Okay, if that's the case too, why these Edomites are pretending to be Jacob to this day, but you hate us so much, and he kept his wrath forever. All right, so the Lord remembers that all the acts of Esau and all the things that he have done. Ezekiel 35 and 6. Ezekiel 35 and I'll start to the point 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity and the time when their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord, Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So don't come complaining to us about anything. You love it. You love shedding blood, and the Lord allowed you to do all the stuff that you're doing. And you hate our guts, we hate your guts. We are mortal enemies. No matter how they try to slice it, there's no mixing, coming together when it comes with this whole thing. Let me finish off with this. Back in Sirach 33 and 15. And all those who get tired of, I saw y'all talk about, hey, sorry, but not sorry. That one clip alone, I don't know what movie that was. That one clip alone shows you they're thinking about us. They're they're obsessed with us because of that one thing. So it has a major, impactful thing in the world. All right, that's a world-changing thing. And it says back in Sirach 33 and 14, good is set against evil, life against death. So the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High. There are two and two, one against another. So yeah, and the scripture tells you about in Romans the 9th chapter how the Lord created one vessel to honor and another vessel for dishonor. And that dishonorable act that Esau committed by selling his birthright set a tone of how much of a piece of shit that he always has been. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. And for you Edomites, stop sweating us. It's over. You're never going to get that birthright right. All right. Matter of fact, me ending it off here. You're never going to get that birthright. It's over. Enjoy this world while you can. Lamentation 4 and 21. Enjoy your last stench. Okay. It says, second Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You're not part of the world to come. Point blank, period. Straight to the point. Shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.